Now I'm sorry if I look like a greasy gamer who haven't showered in 11 days. I was about to go to sleep on my bed. It's not that late at night right now, like it's daytime, but I was really sleepy, but I just couldn't sleep because I got into an argument on Twitter that really got me heated. And it's all about God of War Ragnarok and its fans. The main problem in here is that they do not want to accept criticism. When a thing clearly deserves to be critiqued because it does some bad design choices and stuff, yet they're not accepting. Let's cover it right now on Twitter. So today Black Thunder made this beautiful art right here. Black Thunder is a huge artist. Trust me, go ahead and follow him. He does some beautiful stuff for God of War and for other stuff as well. I made this comment as partly as a joke and as a reality check type of joke. Ragnarok's game design is so outdated that it actually needs a remake. That is astonishing. That is insane to ask for. Hey, a remake. The game came out a couple of months ago. I know, right? But the reception to this tweet is very weird. Even though, it's not a lot of replies, but it is enough replies that kind of represents the bad side of this God of War community that I'm seeing right now, that I'm critiquing right now. And by the way, I'm critiquing you not accepting criticism for your stupid game design. Now, a lot of people think that I hate, before I even get into this, a lot of people think that I hate God of War Ragnarok, that I just hate the whole package and what it is and everything it just gives it. People probably think I'm just pulling a synthetic man on all of you and I just hate the game, like, overall. That couldn't be any further from the truth because I love the game. I fucking love the game's combat. I enjoy it. Like, when I play on stream, I'm always enjoying myself trying to figure out new strats. I do critique stuff that are bad, but we're gonna get to that in a second. We're gonna get to that. Don't jump on the click dislike button right now. Don't. I'm gonna jump on to criticism in just a second, but just for now, I want to make one thing clear. I love God of War as a whole, all God of Wars, but I also love critiquing stuff that are bad. Like, my favorite game has billions of stuff that I can critique right now. God of War 3 is my favorite God of War. It has a lot of stuff that I can critique. You can always pull something out of it that is just bad. A lot of stuff that are bad, but it seems that God of War Ragnarok fans do not want to, they don't want any criticism about their game. And let's just cover, a small portion of this handy dandy, I don't know how to continue this shit because I'm not critical, but yeah, let's continue it. So I got a reply using the same game design philosophy as 5-year-old game isn't outdated, lol. Try playing some old games again, you will feel what outdated really looks like. Now, I don't see where this whole thing comes from with outdated, games being old are just outdated, unplayable. I'm not gonna get into that whole argument. I prefer old games than newer games, but there are many reasons that I'm gonna touch on in this video, basically by just talking more about this whole thing. And so what my reply was to this guy, this type of game fucking design got outdated on release, brethren. Good for a first walkthrough, but horrible on multiple replays. Accept criticism for shitty design choices or remain in shitty game design territory. Now that's basically my stance on this whole shit. This guy does not want to accept that the game is it just has bad game design. Now, what do I mean by game design? Look, the game has phenomenal combat. It's something Lasers explained pretty good in his review for God of War Ragnarok. It has some pretty nice combat. The combat alone, like if the game was a game that you load up and only gives you this combat, 10 out of 10. 10 fucking out of 10. But it doesn't work with the game design. Now, I'm not saying remove the combat flat out. Just give us the story. Let us just walk. Just make it a walking simulator. What I'm saying is add some things. Tweak all this shit. Add some fixes that can allow me to replay this amazing combat and perfect it. There are a lot of people that are just combat enjoyers, as I'd like to call them. And they just want to replay the game for its combat. That happens with every game. That's what I wouldn't say the majority, but minority of gamers do. Minority of gamers like to just replay the game, perfect it, keep on replaying it and enjoying it. That's part of the reason why people still play God of War 1. Part of the reason why people still play Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, fucking Resident Evil 4, and all the games that require skill and perfecting. This guy does not accept it. What he's saying is, like, go ahead and play old games, you see what outdated look like. That's not, he's missing the big point here. Old games can never be outdated because the combat loop is so great, and the pacing is complementing the combat loop. So, like, when you go ahead and play God of War 1, you're not going through, 15 minutes of walkie-talkies and shit just to get to a great combat encounter. Yes, the combat encounter is good, in a perfect world. Let's say that game exists and it only has the combat. It's a phenomenal game, but this is not just a combat game. The combat only represents like about 40% to 50% of what this game represents. Like, it has a lot of walking sections, a lot of not beam, I don't know, walking beside walls, a lot of going through caves and stuff, a lot of pacing issues that are just so bad. I'm not even gonna touch on the one-shot camera that just fucks up the whole fast travel system. Even though we are gonna get a whole loading screen come the next days whenever we get the cutscene skipping. But let's just keep on, let's just read what this guy has to say more about this whole shit. Like, this guy does not want to accept anything about this game being bad. Like, he just wants this game to be perfect as possible. Now again, I want to demonstrate again, or not demonstrate, I don't know the word, but do not go ahead and harass these people on Twitter. Everybody has an opinion, but I'm just telling you, this opinion, you should kind of let go of it, and you should kind of accept criticism for a game. The game is good. In a nutshell, the combat is phenomenal, but the walking and the slow pace of everything, not allowing replayability, not allowing cutscene skipping, not allowing trace section skipping, not allowing basically anything that you want, a fast travel, that I would call that a slow travel, man. Fuck it, whatever. So this is what he has to say after my reply. The only design thing shitty about God of War Ragnarok is the puzzle spoiler. Making a game a linear story isn't outdated or bad. It's called the design of playing safe. And when did I even say it's some top notch of game design? It's just that it's not outdated. And now here's my big reply for this guy that I hope kind of sealed the whole fate of this argument. How is it not outdated? They appeal to my grandma playing the game and enjoying the story only once? Fine. Just appeal to me too. I want to replay this game. Add a fucking mission select on repeated walkthroughs maybe. Add a skip a trace button somewhere. Consider a cutscene skipping option at the start of development. No? Then it's a shitty game design. I have nothing else to say about this. Face it, it's bad and it deserves to be critiqued. I'm not down with practicing combos non-stop in Niflheim. I want to constantly practice and perfect the awesome encounters. Now, before I get into anything else, I'm not throwing shots at anyone who likes to practice in Niflheim. That's on you. You're enjoying it. Hell, I enjoy sometimes practicing with a dummy that has no reaction to anything I do. But listen, the encounters took long to design. I'm gonna make a video essay later on about how the realms are structured in God of War Ragnarok. How Niflheim has a lot of stage hazards. You can use the stage. This is the best realm for when it comes to encounters. How basically every realm represents a different approach to combat encounters, and how combat encounters are the main focus here. It's never gonna be always fun to keep on, you know, hitting that one enemy in a practice room that has infinite health. For example, I don't know, I haven't really played a lot of Niflheim. I've played it, they don't have infinite health. So just so that you don't say, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. My god, I'm fasting. I'm so tired right now. Anyways, the encounters took the longest time to make, to kind of structure, to kind of add them up with the combat loop. Like, hey, climb up here and take this guy out, to ring out this guy, use that stage hazard, burn this place right here so that the enemy on top of it burns and dies slowly and easily and stuff. That's what took a long time. You can't be practicing in Niflheim and telling me that's what you're supposed to do when you're done with the game. You're not supposed to replay the game at all. You have Niflheim, you have Muspelheim that has one encounter that has replayability and swinging and stuff, and call it a day. That's not how any of this works. Games are, you know, these awesome encounters are designed to be perfected. That's what they're designed for. I don't see where this fucking shit is coming from. And here I also continue. You probably think I'm just hating for the sake of it, but I'm constantly giving good arguments about why I hate aspects of the game. I also tend to offer some nice fixes for the bad practices. And mission select would fix a lot of problems. A fucking lot. It's bad game design. I don't know if this guy's gonna accept it, but it's a bad game design. But here's a pretty interesting point in my shitty thing, which sounds like I'm sucking my own dick, but I'm not. Look. A mission select would help with fixing a lot of problems. Now here's why. Even if they half-ass it like God of War Ascension's mission select, it's still gonna be good. It's still gonna help. It's still gonna be good. A, because it's gonna allow me to skip Atreus sections. I don't want to replay Atreus sections. Look, they tried to go with Atreus fully, but they kind of changed their mind midway. But then they also wanted to go with him again, and so they added him. Fine. Okay, Atreus is playable. I don't want to play as him. This is the thing. If you have multiple characters, a mission select would help remedying people that don't want to, you know, play as a character. Like when I casual play Devil May Cry 5, and when I don't feel like it, I just flat out skip the missions. Why? Because it's a mission. You play as V in that mission. I can also not play this shitty mission and continue on with my day. Although I haven't played Devil May Cry 5 in a while, that's what I like to do. That's what I do. Now, what if I don't want to play, what's that? What's this fuck? That section that Atreus joins with the little girl. I don't know. Anyways, they join, and I forgot his name. I'm really sorry on the top of my mind. I can't really think of it right now. It's not Jotunheim, it's somewhere else. Anyways, that section, even the most story-focused channels critiqued it for how long and how dragged it was. It's just bad design. You can't make this shit up. I don't want to replay through that in my replay sections of this game. Now, if you haven't noticed, I do stream this game from time to time on my channel. Now, when I stream, I had some chill streams a couple of days ago. I flat out skipped these cutscenes thanks to my manual saves. Now, manual saves, ladies and gentlemen, manual saves, let me just talk about it. It's a very shitty practice that I'm doing for myself to fix the game for myself. That is what I'm doing. So what I did, you know, when I first set up my manual saves, I did one continuous, like, Give Me God of War playthrough, where I played through every section, but I planted my seeds in there. And by seeds, I mean manual saves. So, after finishing Atreus' section, I would manual save, and then I would write it on my phone. So every time I replay the game, I don't have to go through the whole Atreus section. I just press start, load game, and I load up a manual save. Now, it is a shitty practice. Why? Because I'm missing some stuff that I might have collected in a manual save prior to this one that I'm loading up right now. So in my chill stream that I was doing yesterday, I was constantly loading up manual saves that didn't have some upgrades that I needed, that I wanted to have, but obviously they're not going to be there because this is a manual save. So it is there. That is why this is a shitty practice. Other than that, it's a perfect practice that I use for everything. Like I have a manual save for where I start the game, and it's like 25 minutes into the game. The game starts after 25 minutes. So if that isn't insane enough for you, I don't know what you think great game design is. I have critiqued the game design of God of War Ragnarok in my review as well. If you're interested, you'll see. Just search up the job of a sequel, God of War Ragnarok. I praise the game, I suck the game's dick, but then I also critique the game when it does some bad stuff. Every game is open to criticism, and if you do not accept, which is why I'm pissed off so much right now, if you do not accept criticism about your favorite game that you play only once, I'm about to say some bad shit. If you know, let's say you enjoy the game only once playing it, whatever, that's on you. Be open to criticism. Don't suck the game's dick. Don't ride the game. Don't ride the game's dick. Just stop. If the game is open to criticism, it should be critiqued. It's only gonna get better. You think if they added a mission select, a cutscene skipping option, and a trail skipping option, like if they added these things, you think anyone is gonna be out there being pissed at all? Being just pissed, their whole day ruined, just because these things got added? You think a mission select would piss off some people? Hell, if you're Santa Monica, which you're known to hide some shit, I don't know if someone is watching from Santa Monica, but if you are, if you really want people to experience this amazing story, experience this whole journey of Ragnarok, right? Okay. Don't allow the mission select at the start, but fucking allow it on replay walkthroughs. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to replay the game, to perfect the encounters. Bosses, you can have manual saves for them, and it's fine. Like, you can just visit a boss. Like, I'm fine with no boss rush as well, even though they should add it because the bosses are phenomenal. Which, hey, I'm praising the game. Can you believe it? Zesty's praising the game. He's not dick riding the old games. Bosses are fine. You can have manual saves, but encounters are very, very iffy. Encounters should present the majority of the game. The pacing of the encounters should also be good, which the encounters are good. Like in a bottle that you can capture them, they are very, very good. They work very phenomenally alone. But the game does not really complement that. The game's design does not complement that. The game's design hates you for replaying the game. Now, I also got to it here with, you know, they did not consider a cutscene skipping option the day they started the coding. I don't know what you use. C++, Java, C#, fuck it, C-, I don't care. You should consider adding a cutscene skipping option to your game, which I'm gonna get to in a second with someone saying Resident Evil 4 Remake has shitty game design, it's just, I'm just gonna shut up right now for like 2 seconds, and it's gonna get interrupted with me screaming again in just a second. It's not bad game design. Ragnarok is, and you should accept it. I'm not over here kind of forcing my thing onto shit, but it's the reality. You should accept constructive criticism. Your game only gets better with criticism. It's a phenomenal game, right? With criticism, it can only get better. So who's losing here? It's a bad game. With criticism, it can only get better. I want to know who's losing in this winning battle. Like, we're both winning. If you critique the game and stop dick riding the game can only get better. It does not get worse. I get you're defending the game, but at least defend my points. I'm giving you my points. I'm giving you why I hate. And keyword please, Mike. I hate aspects of this game. Aspects. I don't hate the game flat out overall. Just in case a God of War just in case you were thinking a God of War YouTuber just hates a game of God of War all around completely, I want to stop you right there, and I want to tell you I hate aspects of the game. I hate the one shot. Look, Santa Monica is just, they're just so, I don't know, they're just so optimistic, so, I don't know, ignorant, I guess, about stuff like this. And it's that, you know, with the whole one-shot camera and how no one has tried it, you never think why no one in the world tried the one-shot camera. Capcom, who revel at these awesome games, fucking Team Ninja, like, I can think of billions of studios, FromSoft, billions, literally billions of studios right now, why they're not trying this shitty practice of the one-shot. It's bad because you can't make shit as epic as possible, which is, hey, part of the reason why people critique the Ragnarok event at the end of God of War Ragnarok, and why I'm gonna defend it, because it's good for other reasons that are good for gamers, but I digress. It does not allow you to go as far and as stupid as possible in these action games. It does not allow hype moments like God of War 3, for example, without camera cuts. The other problem with that is that the fast travel gets fucked. Now we have a Mystic Gateway, Mystic Fuckway that we have to go through. Mystic the Fabulous Gateway, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to go through to get to another side of another realm. Just to experiment with something, which is something I touched on my God of War Ragnarok critique as well. It is insane the amount of things this thing takes away. It's just stupid that it's still in the game. Now, other than the one shot that I fairly critiqued right now, I'm bringing good constructive points. There is nothing that these guys can help me with. Like, they're not saying anything that counters my my argument of the one shot being a shitty design. And of course, if you have a one shot, stay with it. I'm fine. But on repeated walkthroughs, give me loading screens. I'd rather have a 3-minute loading screen rather than waiting for like a whole, you know, going through this Mystic Gateway, stay there until the whole thing appears again, and then enter it. And I'm not even mentioning the whole time it takes to get to a Mystic Gateway. That might take time. It does take time. I'd rather have a loading screen rather than this bullshit. Spider-Man has the best traversal system with its swinging, and it's constantly fast, and you're all enjoying the swagger of the black teen. It's still considered a fast travel system that has a loading screen. It instantly takes you to another side of the world because you have something on this side of the world. And then you can return to this side of the world to continue with your main story shit. It's just constructive criticism is what I'm giving. A mission select would help with a lot of things. As I said, the game has multiple characters. I don't want to play as Atreus. Cool. Quit the game. Load up the mission right after Atreus' mission. You're Gucci. You're good. Your juicy ass is sitting and playing as Kratos. Who's losing here? Who the fuck is losing here? I want to load up a very nice section that I want to play. Let's say the second visit to Svartalheim. It has a lot of really creative combat encounters, and I really want to replay it. Now, I have manual saves that help me replay that section, but that is me fixing the game for myself. How a mission select would help with that is that I would load up with everything upgraded from my, you know, previous, you know, like let's say I upgraded something in mission 3, for example. When I load up mission 4, I have everything that I upgraded in mission 3. I don't have to go ahead and just go through everything. I have every runic. Maybe in mission 3, I collected a runic attack. I come to mission 4, I still have the same runic attack. That is not available in my manual saves practice that I try for myself, which is again why it returns to it being a shitty practice. A mission select would help a lot. A mission select would help you avoid even adding a skip Atreus section button, which okay, you don't want people to skip Atreus sections, right? How about repeated walkthroughs? Add that shit in the game so that I can just continue on with my day playing as Kratos. Why make me fall in love with Kratos and then break the pacing in such a bad way with Atreus? I don't care if Atreus plays nice. I don't care if you like playing as Atreus more than Kratos. I like to play as Kratos, and I'm pretty sure 99% of the people watching this like to play as Kratos more than Atreus, and it's just what it is. Now, a mission select fixes that as well. Like you don't need a skip Atreus button. You just don't. You just quit the game, go to the mission after the Atreus section, maybe after Asgard or after the. My God, I can't recollect the name the name of the place that he visits with the girl that he meets. That I also forgot her name for now because I'm just so mad right now. But yes, a mission select fixes everything, literally everything. It might still keep some shitty problems that I'm not willing to touch on. Like the RPG system. I'm not gonna sit down here suddenly and just say, yo, add an upgrade that just flat out removes the RPG system that you built the entire game around. I'm not gonna go to heights that kind of insane. I'm not touching on that piece of grass right now. I'm not even gonna open that wormhole because it's probably deeper than the warmest wormhole that you're gonna find in your warmest wormhole. I'm not gonna touch on that. I'm not gonna touch on nitpicks that I have. Fuck the quick turn being this fucked up. I don't even care. I don't even care. Just stuff that are just fundamental for every game design should be here, and they're not here. And I'm critiquing them, and I feel like I'm the only one who's critiquing those. And it's to the point where I have to make a video. I throw jabs at God of War Ragnarok. I threw jabs at it in the review, of course, but which I don't consider jabs. It's just a constructive criticism in a video that is well edited, that took long to make. I love these games. I want them to get better. I'm not making this just out of hate and just to hate. Hold on, let me just adjust myself. Okay, other than that video, I throw jabs at God of War Ragnarok on nearly all my streams. Not all my streams, but nearly all my streams. I play God of War Ragnarok. I throw shots at it, at bad design. I play any other God of War game, any challenge run that I do and stuff, which, check out my channel, I stream a lot. I still critique God of War Ragnarok because it has flaws. It has flaws. It comes up. It comes up in the chat. Me as a streamer and content creator, I have to respond to the chat. The chat says, I believe the Atreus section where you walk for 2 hours with, what's her name? How am I forgetting her name? Anyways, that section isn't too bad. It's good for story. And I'm like, yes, it's good for story. It's not good for a guy who replays the games 50 billion times. You want to know how many times I've replayed God of War 3, 2, 1, boom, Ascension, Chains of Olympus, Ghosts of Sparta, God of War 4, God of War Betrayal. I'm not gonna go that far, not God of War Betrayal. But I replay games. You want to know how many times I replayed Devil May Cry 3, Resident Evil 4, Bayonettas, just the wonderful 101s? No. FromSoft games? That is peak game design. Not a game design that appeals to my grandma playing with her husband's girlfriend, is what I would like to put it right now, so that no confusion is made. It's fine. Appeal to that audience. Appeal to my grandpa playing this in his grave. Appeal to him. It's fine. It's fine. But also appeal to me. I'm trying to replay the game. I'm trying to have fun and perfect the encounters that took long to make. I'm just gonna be flat out clean with you here. For anyone who designed the amazing encounters in Svartalheim in every realm, people are not willing to replay those, most people, because the cutscenes are unskippable, which is something that should have been considered at the start of development. It's still astonishing. It's still weird that they did not consider a cutscene skip. I'm still kind of... I just went insane when I tried to replay the game after finishing it, because I legit had a lot of fun. I don't I don't think you really watched my walkthrough, but I had a lot of fun when I played the game. I instantly wanted to give me God of War, and just to find out that I can't skip cutscenes. And I was like, I can't. So I can't skip cutscenes. Cool. Let's keep on playing. And I finished it and made a review, and it's just, I gave my constructive criticism, and my criticism is sound. Yet some people keep on dick riding. Let's move on to the next argument, and it's this guy saying, "This is you." So me, a guy with 24,000 subscribers, is begging for attention on Twitter. Something that I only use to share memes, to talk to some of my friends, like the Midgard Chronicler, to talk to some other people, like Omar, about some combat shit here and there. This guy's saying, I'm begging for attention. Why would I need the clout for a comment like you know, the comment that I made? What was the shit that I said? Ragnarok's game design is outdated. That's what I said. The rest of this whole thing is a joke. It does not need a remake. It needs tweaking with an upgrade, with an update. That's what it needs. Not just New Game Plus. New Game Plus alone will not fix this shit. Trust me, it will not. It will make it will be fun to play with the cape. It will be fun to skip cutscenes potentially. Of course, it will be allowed, but it still will have walkie-talkies. Of course, it will help a lot with the New Game Plus update, but it still will have walkie-talkies. And by the way, this can help with the next game being made as well. I don't know if it's going to be God of War Ragnarok 2. I don't know if it's going to be God of War Ragnarok Egypt porn. I just care that it's going to be fixed, hopefully, with this criticism. But then people like this defend it, and they're like, yeah, bro, go ahead and play old games, and you'll see what outdated is. I don't see it. Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, Bayonettas. I don't see it. I don't fucking see it. Devil May Cry's, old God of Wars. Anyways, let's continue with this guy's point right here. Okay, I'm not even gonna go through this whole shit right here. This something. Although I do want to read this. Ragnarok, phenomenal combat. The game design, a shithole. I want to replay and perfect these great encounters. No can do, because cutscenes no skip. I just wanted to touch on this right here. He's talking about something else, and which is why I have God of War 1 over God of War 2, which is a totally subjective thing. You can have a God of War 2 over 1, which is the majority have God of War 2 over 1, but I have God of War 1 over 2 because it's just some other stuff that I prefer in God of War 1, like the combat and stuff. It's a whole discussion for another day. He has this comment. The old games had a lot of scripted sections too. Now listen, every game, nearly every game, has scripted sections. He's talking about this one with Zeus in God of War 2. You know how it's a whole long cutscene and then you just walk slowly and stuff? Listen, God of War 2, which is here, I actually replied. You're looking at 2 hours max that is unplayable in the old God of Wars owing to unskippable cutscenes. In Ragnarok, you're looking at 9 to 10 hours of no gameplays. You tell me which is worse. That God of War 3 section, why play it? It's at the very end of there and there's no gameplay left. So I'm basically talking about this one, the Fear Kratos section with God of War 3. You can literally end the game after you beat Zeus. Why do you want to go on? Why do you want to replay this? It's at the very end of the game and it's like, it's nearly half an hour of just nothing but walking, cutscenes and stuff. That is fair. But it's at the very end and you can simply not play it. Quit the game, start another game. Easy as that. It's not even getting in anyone's way. And the other thing is 2 hours max of cutscene, 2 hours max of unplayable in sections in the old God of Wars. That is true. If you search for a God of War 2 all cutscenes video, it's 2 hours to 2 hours and a half max. That's all. But if you look at God of War Ragnarok and search all cutscenes, you get like 7.5 hours. That is even excluding all the walkie-talkies. That is even excluding all the standing in one place and talking to someone. Like, it's insane. You're comparing 10 hours to 2 hours. That's insane. I don't want to sit down and not play for 10 hours. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? The game is not respecting my time. It's not respecting my fucking time. It drags for 30 hours and it does not allow me to play for like nearly 15 hours of the 30 hours. What am I here for? I'm here to play, not to fucking watch cutscenes that I enjoy the cutscenes. Phenomenal cinematography, phenomenal music in the cutscenes, phenomenal everything. But I don't want to rewatch them 50 times. I just don't. There might be special occasions where I want to revisit a game just to kind of be completely immersed and I watch the cutscenes and stuff, which is something I did with Resident Evil 4 the other day. I really missed the cheesiness and I'm like, let's just play the game with the cutscenes, with everything intact. That is there. But every replay, every challenge I do, every speedrun a speedrunner might do, it's fine to appeal to my grandpa, as I said, but also appeal to me. Appeal to everyone. You're trying to appeal to everyone, but not clearly. Billions of accessibility options. I don't know if anyone from Santa Monica is watching this. Santa Monica. I don't know if anyone's watching this, but all these accessibility options. And I haven't seen a single option for skipping a trace. I haven't seen a single option for skipping cutscenes. Oh my god, just skipping cutscenes. How insane is this? Anyways, here I replied to this guy that said I need attention. Here's what I said to him, which is the reason why I decided to make a video right now, even while fasting, screaming my ass off like this. People like you who don't want things to improve is why we still have walkie-talkies and unskippable cutscenes. You do you. You do you, champ. I enjoy replaying games rather than play them once. Keep up with not accepting criticism to your shitty walking game design that died on release, which is what I mean by this whole shit. This shitty game design got outdated on release. It is good for a first walkthrough, correct. But not allowing us to skip this shit. Like even in God of War 4, you can skip cutscenes. It is the best skipping cutscene shit that I've seen. But you still can't skip walkie-talkies. And that's bad. Let me tell you, that's bad. I want to skip walkie-talkies. Here he replied again. 2018 has more replay value than the old games due to skippable cutscenes. Unlike the old and God of War 2 New Game Plus, don't as good as 2018 one. I don't know what he's saying, but look. What he's saying is that God of War 2 only allows cutscene skipping in New Game Plus. That is a flaw. That is a flaw with God of War 2. That is a flaw with God of War 1, God of War 3. It is a flaw. There. Yes, contrary to popular belief, it is a flaw in God of War 2. And I hate it. I hate that you can't skip cutscenes in my favorite game, God of War 3. I hate that you can't, I don't know. Like there are billions of stuff that I can think of that I can critique from God of War 3. I hate that. I'm with you. But you're not with me when I say God of War 2018 and Ragnarok's game design is outdated. I have been tempted to make a video essay about how the game design of Santa Monica is outdated. Sony as a whole nowadays, but why make it when people don't care? This is what people think. People dick ride the game to no avail. Nothing changes. No one loses when we get cutscene skipping options. No one. No one loses when we get a walkie-talkie skipping option. No one loses when we get a mission select. No one loses. Okay, you might want the immersion of the one-shot camera. Trust me, and trust me please, you will get much more immersed with some better camera play. It doesn't have to be a one-shot camera. There are reasons why no one is trying them. They are bad. They're bad for gameplay aspects. But even if you're gonna go with one-shot camera, fine. Just fucking add a plausible, a reasonable, which is what your Kratos likes to say, a reasonable fast travel system. Why can't we have that? I want to go to Niflheim to try out something on one enemy, just for my testing. I'm a YouTuber, not everyone is a YouTuber. But you could have other reasons to travel to another realm. Maybe you miss the atmosphere of a realm. Maybe you like immersion in a game. It's totally fine. Not everyone is constantly replaying games and combat and stuff and all that and shit. But still, you have to appeal to everyone. If you're trying to appeal to everyone. And here's the most absurd take that I've heard in my life. And he's using it as a counter argument to God of War Ragnarok having shitty game design. So this guy saw me like Resident Evil 4 Remake. He saw me like it so much, he decided to bring it up as in like a revenge porn type thing to me. Like, yeah, well, your favorite game that came out a couple of while back, you know, Resident Evil 4 Remake, yeah, it has shitty game design. And here's my response. Oh, like allowing me to skip cutscenes so that I can always replay and perfect the awesome enemy encounters, which by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Resident Evil 4 Remake is a phenomenal game. I don't know about professional mode. It is kind of shitty and needs some tweaking. But it's a phenomenal game. The encounters are structured so well, just like God of War Ragnarok. But the game design is complementing it. You're not stuck with walkie-talkies. You're not stuck with the unskippable cutscenes. Long elevator rides. You don't have that in Remake. You have constant action, action, action. And I don't see anyone's attention span being lost. I'm not even critiquing the puzzles in God of War Ragnarok being, you know, spoiled for you. Because, frankly, to be real with you, I don't give a fuck. It did bug me at first with my first walkthroughs and stuff. But now I have the dialogue turned off. Who's gonna hurt me? I fixed the game. Not Santa Monica. Anyways, Resident Evil 4 Remake has awesome encounters. Back-to-back awesome creative encounters that have tools and hazards and ring outs and billions of stuff. And the game complements it. The game design complements it. It allows cutscene skippings, meaning you can replay it. And it's in the DNA of Resident Evil for anyone unaware from the God of War franchise. It is in the DNA of Resident Evil to replay them and get better and stuff. just to get S plus rank. I don't care about the ranks, but I care about replayability. Resident Evil really heavily kind of encourages you to replay them. Anyways, I continue. Like allowing me to skip elevator rides, which yes, the game allows you to skip some elevator rides. You know, there's that elevator ride with Louise, which you can skip. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yes, you can skip it. Or maybe the fact that it has one walkie-talkie and it's a minute max. It is that one walkie-talkie. You guys know which one I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil Resident Evil 4 remake, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And it just expands for like a minute. A minute at max. 2 minutes if you're trying to be generous. What else? What else did I say? Oh, game's too short, huh? Which is a problem I want to touch on right fucking now. People think a game has to be as long as The Witcher 3, as long as Red Dead Redemption 2, as long as fucking Skyrim. Listen, your game can be short and it can encourage replayability rather than just being 30 hours long. It's part of the reason why I couldn't enjoy Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a phenomenal game. Don't get on my ass. Pause. But I just don't like open world games. It's just my type of games is not open world games. It's a phenomenal game, but I just prefer all the other FromSoft games. But it's just something. The game God of War especially, or any action game, does not have to be 30 hours long. You have Devil May Cry 5 that came out in recent memory. It's not that long. You don't need a game to be that fucking long. No reason. You can also have replayability for it, which, okay, the game is long. I'm just gonna replay it, but it's long. That is the only nitpick I can have. Other than that, this guy might think Resident Evil 4's remake's game design is bad because it's short. Because it might take you up to like nearly 12 to 13 hours on your first walkthrough, which this guy considers bad. I'd love to break it to you, Ashley, but I'm gonna replay Resident Evil 4 remake to death. How many people do you have returning to God of War 4? Is there any reason to return to God of War 4? Other than the story, gameplay. I'm talking gameplay. Is there any reason to return to God of War 4? None. You have walkie-talkies. You have a combat system that does some stuff better than Ragnarok, but no reason to return to it when Ragnarok has the majority of the stuff better than God of War 4. Like, there's just shitty stuff that I'm hearing in this community that I just can't stand sometimes. Like, the constructive criticism that I'm giving can only help in your game getting better. We both want the same thing, the game to be better. Except this guy wants to just stay in his shitty game design of walkie-talkies. There was also something else. I don't know, man. Hold on. Let me just search up for it. Here is the last point, and I just really want to end this video because I'm beginning to heat up right now, and I don't want to look more greasy than what I already do. Actually, fuck it. Even my nap is gone. Anyways, here's what he's saying as the last thing. Dude, grow the fuck up. The old games literally had unskippable cutscenes, which we discussed. And here's this as well in here. The walking sections in the new games aren't that long as you claim them to be. Same thing for the fast travel system. It's so short. I forgot the name of the place, and I'm really sorry. But it's the land of the giants where Atreus sleeps and goes to. That walking section, you can't call it short. It's being broken up by some combat portions and stuff does not help its case. It doesn't. Then with all the other walkie-talkies near the start of the game, what about them? Then with all the billions of other walkie-talkies and all the phase sections when you meet her and stuff. Don't say it's short. That's a very bad practice. Like, it's bad for everyone who's trying to replay the game. Speedrunners and casual players. Only good is when you try to revisit the game for immersion. Stop just kind of dick riding the game is what I'm trying to say here. That's all that I'm trying to say. And what is this right here? He said... I hope my message is clear in here, and I'm kind of sending my message across right here. All the criticism that I'm giving for the game is just constructive. I'm also giving fixes in all my reviews and stuff, and all my live streams, and all. Even now, I gave a bunch of remedies for all these shitty problems. No one is losing here. No one, absolutely nobody's gonna lose. If these stuff get added with an update later on. I know it takes time. But these things should have been included at the start of the game. And that's just about it. I literally have nothing else to say. Peace.